TxStampin Sharon. On today's video, I'm going to share 2 cards with you. I'm going to demonstrate one, but we're going to talk about the other one. I hope that I inspire you. I hope it gives you some ideas. If you currently do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd be honored to be your demonstrator. You can find my store, how to contact me, how to sign up for my newsletter, all that below the video. Oh, but while you're there, if you currently have not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do that as well. After you subscribe, hit that little bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Let's do some Mother's Day cards. So as I said, I have had a request to do a Mother's Day card. Well, I realized that I haven't played with hand-drawn blooms very much, and I started reading, there's no Happy Mother's Day. So I pulled out Timeless Tulips and got my Happy Mother's Day sentiment. And I made 2 cards. This card is the one I'm going to demonstrate on today's video, but let's talk about this one. This one I used Shimmery White Cardstock. I stamped my images, and then I just colored with the Stampin Blends. I stamped and cut out 2 of the Black-Eyed Susans and added them to my card with dimensionals. Using the shimmery white paper is just so pretty. It's just a different cardstock, but it makes this card really sparkle and shine. And then I just stamped my Happy Mother's Day and I placed it over the bouquet of flowers. I kind of moved it all around, but I was happy with how it turned out. Now let's make this card. Currently, you can get this stamp set as a bundle. I did not use the die to make my first card, but I'm going to use it to make this card. So I have a piece of basic white, and I think this is just 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I have cut my adhesive sheets. You can buy a package of these and then cut them to size for your needs. Since there's so much detail on this flower, I certainly didn't want to try it at adhesive. So that's when these adhesive sheets come in so handy. And they just come off in strips. And we're just going to lay this down. And it's very, very sticky. So next I'm going to take my die and my sheet that has the adhesive on it and take it to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss and cut it all out. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. Now when you purchase the brush attachment, you get a foam mat, and I'm just going to run this over it and get all those bits out. Because there's so many pretty flowers, I wanted to bring in lots of my Stampin' Blends, and I just started coloring. Some of these flowers, these tiny flowers, were a little hard to see, but as you just start coloring, I'm going to use this one, you'll be able to see the greenery and be able to fill it in. I chose shimmery white, but you don't have to. You could use basic white for this, but I just was hoping that I would have a little shimmer, and so that's why I chose that. I love coloring. I think it's very therapeutic to color. I recently did a YouTube live where I was coloring and I was afraid that it was boring. So I have hesitated to do this on my videos, but I have learned that it is helpful to y'all when I do color. So we're just gonna do more coloring. Oh yeah, we want this one yellow, our little Black-Eyed Susan. So it's just another way to use your Stampin' Blends. You don't have to blend. You can just use them like I'm doing. I do have a download, and it is on my blog. You'll be able to find it in the link below so that you can have good pictures of what I've done and print it off to use when you're making your Mother's Day cards or any card. With the tip that I'm going to share with you, how to get away from this part right here, you'll be able to use these flowers for any occasion. So see how I missed the flower right here? I'm going to come back in. We're just going to add that. It's almost like a puzzle, a coloring puzzle. Okay, so then we had Melon Mambo. This is retiring, like I said, and so you have until May 4th. I'm sorry, May 3rd. I wouldn't wait till the 4th. The new catalog starts on the 4th to order this bundle and have it on hand for your pretty cards that you want to make. Next, I'm going to switch to the Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to start coloring in some of my greenery. And I just colored this whole thing. You don't have to color the whole thing. You can just color the edges like that's going to be sticking out. You'll see what I mean when I start to put my sentiment on. Now right in here is when it starts to get a little tricky, so I know I'm just going to color what is green, what I know for sure. Then I'm going to color my flowers. Then I can go back and add more green if I need to. Okay, we're gonna stop for now. We're gonna do some flowers. And I think I chose, this is Seaside Spray. Do some little flowers here. Oh, and down here. It really is pretty quick. I know, well, to me, it seems like I'm coloring for a long time, but this is really quick and easy. And I want to show you another thing that I did try to do. I tried to use some watercolor paper and do watercoloring, but I wasn't happy with how it turned out. So I switched over to the Stampin' Blends, but I am going to show you the difference. And I'll show you why I wasn't happy. Okay, picking up our green again and filling in right here. Whoops, that's the darker green. Let's see, let's get the lighter one. Now, not just because I grabbed the darker green, I did come back and recolor some of my greenery with the darker of the Granny Apple Green. Just to make it, you know, like whenever you see a bouquet of flowers, you see different colors of greenery. So that's what we're doing here. And that's the beauty of using the Stampin' Blends. I can have two different tones, however I want to do it. So, yep, another great thing. And then we'll do this one. And maybe this one. Okay, all we have left now is the black part of our Black Eyed Susan, and we're done. Oh, I see a little spot right here. So I'm bringing in my basic white. Oh, when you pick it up, you can kind of see a little bit right here. It's like missed a little bit of green. But it really is fun. It was a fun one to do. And so if you don't already have this bundle, I recommend that you grab it before it's gone. Now, can you see the lines on the back? I'm going to be, that is the seal of my adhesive. And we're just gonna start this off. And just peel off that backing. And you can see that some of the bits that didn't come out the first time when I used the brush, they come out with the adhesive paper. So, and then we have one little bit more. Let's see. There it is. It does come in sections because of the die of how it was cut. So now we're just going to place this right here. Let's see. I don't know. I like it at an angle. I think we're going to keep it at an angle. We're just going to press all that down. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment. I'm using Memento Black. And then we're going to add some adhesive on the back, mounting it on our Granny Apple Green. And then we're going to pop it up with some dimensionals. And I hope that you can see why I chose Granny Apple Green for this layer as we go to add it to the card. So when I lay it here, it just looks like my banner tails are coming off. And I can use this bundle. Let's see, we're gonna have to turn it sideways, aren't we? I can use this die and create any sentiment, any kind of card I want, just by placing my layer like this instead of using the stamps that come in the set. So I told y'all that I was gonna share the difference. This is the one that I did the watercolor with versus doing the Stampin Blends. And so as you can see how my red bled into the green and the green bled into the yellow. But I did it with the water brush and the ink refill. So it is another way to do it. But to me, I wasn't happy with that result. And it was harder to color the little flowers. As you can see, they ended up being mostly green. But yeah, that's watercolored. This is Stampin' Blends. So here are my two cards. I hope that I've inspired you for your Mother's Day cards. Like I said, it's just, they're two totally different things, but they came from the same bundle. So happy stamping, y'all.